leukemia is a blood disorder or blood cancer that typically has an excess of white corpuscles that are immature. These are cells that are not really capable of doing their job, but at some point in the maturation process, they've gone from benign to malignant.
Blood is a body fluid in humans and other animals that delivers necessary substances such as nutrients and oxygen to the cells. In vertebrates, it is composed of blood cells suspended in blood plasma. The blood cells are mainly red blood cells, also called RBCs or erythrocytes, white blood cells, also called WBCs or leukocytes, and platelets. Plasma, which constitutes 55% of blood fluid, is mostly water, 92% by volume, and contains dissipated proteins, glucose, mineral ions, hormones, and carbon dioxide. All the blood cells families work together and maintain your body so that you are healthy and strong. Red blood cells transport oxygen to your body's organs and tissues. White blood cells help your body fight infections.
A consequence of that is that they overgrow the normal cells. In leukemias, we generally will divide them, and there are many different types, but we generally will divide them between the acute leukemias and the chronic leukemias. The biggest distinguishing factor between those two is not only the pace at which it develops, the acute being faster than the chronic, but what consequences that we see. In acute leukemias, we see that the bad cells overgrow the good cells very quickly. In the case of the chronic leukemias, typically the bad cells will coexist with the normal cells. So the acute leukemia cells have a negative impact on your normal blood cell growth. So we'll see patients, for example, that will have a low platelet count, which can lead to bleeding. So one of the symptoms for acute leukemias may be bleeding. Not so much with chronic leukemias, where the platelet count can remain normal for quite some time in that illness. So there's some differences in acute and chronic in the symptoms that patients have, the problems that patients have when they first present with their leukemia.
Trombosit HB di bawah rata-rata, tapi leukosit dia tinggi banget. Orang normal tuh harusnya 10.000, dia sampai 300.000.
Karena mungkin kesibukan gue sehari-hari tuh di rumah sakit, kalau mereka kan ngejalanin aktivitas kayak kuliah atau main bareng.
Saya cuma dalam hati, ya Allah, saya harus kuat. Saya nggak mau dipanggil sekarang, saya harus sembuh, saya sembuh.
That fear that you would have experienced, how do you turn that fear into hope when you're given a diagnosis like that?
I don't have time to think about this. Just tell me, what is the solution?
How has that changed your perspective on life?
The whole experience made me realize love and connection is the #1 thing. Like, everything else became so irrelevant.